Okay, so last time we managed to give Kano a peaceful, quiet life, which in my books, in my dictum, isn't that bad, but apparently he wants someone to stop his future father-in-law from getting out of the cafe. My guess is that it's something to do with Achi or Minorikawa. So we won't do that first. I, for one, am far more interested in how Osawa progresses in the story. 2 years ago with Maria Osawa. Since after editing the last few videos, I noticed how I think this is the story bit that interests me the most, actually. The kidnapping, it drags on kinda long, and Achi is just bumbling around with her, and Tama, I don't even fucking know, she wants a fucking necklace, okay. Minorikawa is also kinda interesting, since he's the one that will probably tie them all up together, but Osawa and this weird virus and someone not really trying to blackmail him, but threatening him, seems to be the most mystery in all of this. And I like mystery. The rain won't let up. No matter how much time passes, it just won't stop. Ever since that day, the sound of raindrops has been burned into my mind. What? Such an awful, heart-rending sound, driving me to strip my life down to shadows. And yet, no matter what else I abandon, nothing will make the sound of the rain stop. Creepy, because suddenly it stopped. So who said this? Or rather, who's thinking this? Is it Osawa? Or is this a memory of Maria? Osawa stared at a postcard that was nestled into the final page of the photo album. He'd purchased it 2 years earlier while on a trip with Maria to the Middle East. Let's see. Okay. Nothing really interesting or related to the story. He'd mentioned that he was being sent there on business, and Maria had just blurted out, "I want to go with you." She'd recently developed an interest in the Middle East conflict, and apparently she had been yearning to see the area firsthand. How old was she? Because this is a weird interest for a kid to develop, yeah? His daughter's newfound curiosity had taken him aback. She had always tended to be quiet and self-contained. The clumsy conversations aboard the airplane, the meals eaten together in awkward silence, it all felt like such a distant memory to Osawa now. "Ma'am, I'm afraid I can't let you do that," says someone. Oh, it's Kajiwara. He heard Kajiwara's voice outside the door. "Why ever not? I'm just going out for a bit." The detective was arguing with I. Great. "And just who was it who told me I should try to go about my life as normal, Osawa's wife sneered. "She's such a bitch. Ma'am, please, How would you feel about being told to just sit around and wait?" Ai's angry shriek jerked Osawa to his feet. He hurried from the study to try to calm her down. "Why are you even still bothering with her? Oh, just..." I know, or rather, I think divorce in Japan, probably not as usual as in other countries, but for fuck's sake. Ma'am, please wait." By the time Osawa had made his way downstairs, his wife had already stormed outside, despite Kajiwara's attempts to stop her. Nice slippers. Osawa doubted anything he could have said would have stopped Ai from leaving. Exactly. Trying to physically keep her from going out would only have made for an even worse uproar. He was glad that at least it hadn't come to that. He was turning to head back to the study when Kajiwara caught his eye. What weird fucking thing is he doing now? Eating a melon? Resigned, he headed down the stairs and bowed to the detective. This is such a strange background and picture. Any idea where she's going? Kajiwara asked. I mean, at a time like this. Osawa shook his head. I wouldn't know. I didn't think so. You know, your wife really is something else. Osawa arched an eyebrow. That's one way to describe her. A rather rude way, as a matter of fact. Oh, no offense intended. Again, he insulted Osawa earlier as well. It's just that, ever since this case started, you've both been holed up in your own respective rooms. The more Kajiwara spoke, the more irritated Osawa became. Which is why he tried to get away from him in the first place, right? So why did he come out again to talk to him? What's your point? He demanded. I just mean, you haven't been having any, marital discourse. Whoa. Whoa, what? According to one survey, in roughly 6% of households, discourse between spouses is largely non-existent. Various reasons for this were offered by the couples in question. Many claimed that they were too tired to have the energy to talk, or stated, we wind up fighting when we talk, or we have nothing to talk about. Amazing. Sounds like another peaceful, quiet life. Mind your own business, Osawa snapped. Kajiwara dipped his head deferentially. The two of us not talking isn't a new thing anyhow, Osawa added. I have a policy of not having pointless conversations. It is quite common for Kenji Osawa to make it through an entire day without having a single conversation. Jesus, I would love that sometimes. On many days he opens his mouth only to eat or brush his teeth. His current record is a streak of 14 consecutive days during which he didn't talk to anyone. I need that. I want that too. Why do people keep talking to me? Then again, I'm sitting here talking to myself. So, what does that tell me about it, huh? Huh. It didn't look as though Kajiwara quite understood. He didn't read the tip, apparently. Microorganisms such as viruses don't have conversations, and yet still they continually propagate in order to survive. Thinking about viruses, Osawa was back in familiar territory. He felt a surge of confidence. Once you have a clear purpose, conversation is unnecessary. The fucking sound in the background is driving me crazy. I have a splitting fucking horrible headache. And I just wanted to record, not get even worse pain. Please, game. And do you have a clear purpose for the relationship with your wife, Mr. Osawa? Of course I do. To be a family. Arms crossed, Kajiwara struck a thoughtful pose. He's thinking. At least I've learned one useful thing today, Mr. Osawa. Namely, that you don't like to have pointless conversations. It's a good thing to know. Which actually makes this conversation not pointless. Kajiwara uncrossed his arms for a moment, then crossed them right back again, furrowing his brow. But see, that's funny. You seem to have a tendency to have pointless conversations with me, and because you keep coming to talk to me. Osawa saw red. You don't leave me much of a choice. Tanaka poked his head out of the living room. This fucking background. Is something the matter? I need to give him a different voice, but I can't quite remember the voice I gave him before, so I'll just give him a normal one. Is something the matter, he asked. No. Osawa struggled to regain his calm. Perfect timing, actually. There's something I need to talk to you about. He turned back to Kajiwara. My apologies, detective, but would you mind giving us some privacy? Yes, I would, actually. Kajiwara didn't move. Detective? Osawa gave the policeman a hard look and saw him crack a smile. Yes? What is it? Kajiwara said at last. Don't you play dumb with me. Give us some privacy. Is this a discussion I shouldn't overhear? He has something to do with the goddamn fucking UA virus. Actually, yes, it's work-related. There are business matters that I prefer to keep confidential. I see. Still doesn't move. No? Does he? Reluctantly getting to his feet, Kajiwara slipped away into the living room.
Tanaka, Osawa began, about those emails. He stopped abruptly.
What is wrong with him? Kajiwara had reappeared in the living room door, staring right at them.
What are you doing?
Osawa demanded. Oh, should I not be watching? Osawa felt like he was about to burst a blood vessel. I mean, you never told me that I couldn't watch.
Because it should be obvious.
The detective made a scolded puppy face, then closed the living room door. Osawa let out a heavy sigh.
This fucker, I'll kill him.
He'd never been an extrovert, but he didn't recall human interaction being quite this draining. Yeah, he's just weird. Anyway, sir, Tanaka prompted. You were saying?
Yes, about those emails. Something doesn't make sense. I don't understand how Mr. Makino was able to get the antiviral agent to anyone on the outside.
Sharing an Okoshi Pharmaceuticals drugs with external sources while it was still under development required the approval of an executive committee that included Osawa himself. There should have been no way the antiviral could be sent out without his knowledge. Tanaka hesitated a few moments before responding. What if he stole it? Are you aware of the strife between the company president and the chairman? Osawa shook his head. He was a researcher through and through. Factional rivalries held no interest for him whatsoever. Makino effectively leads the chairman's team, and the antiviral agent is their pet project. Despite being the executive officer in charge of the project, however, Makino still needs the president's approval to...
You know what? Forget about that right now. What do we do about security?
In theory, it was physically impossible to get the antiviral out of the lab without detection. Entry to the biohazard laboratory where it was kept required fingerprint authentication from both Osawa and Tanaka. Oh god, is Tanaka in on this? Wait, from both? How did they do this? Oh look, it's a video. Let's, technology that allows an individual's identity to be verified by scanning the fingerprints. Let's watch the video. Is it a match? Is it a match? It is a fucking match! Oh my god, identified. Thank you, CSI. Okay. Without the two of them there, nobody could even get into the storage facility. Gods, okay, all I need to know. Tanaka followed his drift. Ah yes, I see what you mean. He inclined his head and thought as Osawa continued. Could someone have overwritten the fingerprint authentication program? Let's check the entry logs for the storage section. We'll just have to ask Makino in person. Let's check the entry logs, shall we? I'm not sure if this decision really changes anything, but I think it could give us new information. Anyone who wanted to get inside had to present their ID card to the security guard on duty. It should be possible to check the computer logs to see if there had been any suspicious activity in the system. Tanaka shook his head. What? Why? I already checked the logs, sir. There was no evidence of anything suspicious. You're welcome to check for yourself, though, if you're that worried.
No, I believe you.
Do we really? Yet the fact was that the antiviral had been used for clinical testing. Either Makino had taken it from the laboratory personally, or someone working on his orders had done so. But how? Was there really some way they could have bypassed lab security without anyone else knowing? Osawa couldn't think how it would be. How it would be possible, sorry. It's a weird way to split the sentence. I don't know much about this stuff, since, fuck me, it's probably more complicated than anything I could ever imagine, but can't you just steal the formula and reproduce it? Do you get what I mean? Is this possible, or do you have to steal it from the laboratory where Osawa personally has worked? Can't you just manufacture it again? Kajiwara is back. The living room door opened with a soft creak. It was Kajiwara, and he looked stiff and pale. Something terrible has happened, he said. Visions of tragedy flooded Osawa's mind. Oh god, no.
Maria, is she...
Kajiwara shook his head. No, it's not that. I lost my banana. What is it then? Osawa asked, his voice trembling. Sir, I need you to stay calm. Osawa swallowed the lump in his throat. You see, the toilet's clogged. Oh, this is. Can this game make Kajiwara any more suspicious? Is he a red herring? Because this just can't be true. Plunger in hand, Osawa stabbed vigorously at the recalcitrant toilet bowl, struggling to loosen the unseen blockage. If we find out that it's a banana, I will fucking end Kajiwara. Also, why does Osawa have to do this? If they clog the toilet, wouldn't it be the duty of a policeman to unclog it? Or did Osawa say, I'm not letting you near my fucking toilet, you clogged and plugged it once, fuckers. Makes a variety of sounds when you such as glop, glop, schluck, slop, schloop, and pop. Amazing. Kajiwara was at his side, wiping up the floor with a rag. How did this even happen? The detective groaned. Are you kidding? I was hoping you could tell me that. I think he knows. The plunger sucked and slopped at the porcelain basin. This was a first for Osawa. He'd never tried to unclog a toilet before in his life. Really? Think of it as a blessing in disguise, Mr. Osawa. What the hell are you talking about? What about this constitutes as a blessing? I just meant that at least this happened before you needed to do your business. Without the slightest hint of guile on his face, Kajiwara picked up his bucket and headed for the sink back in the washing area. Why is the water so blue? Did they already put a chemical in there? Grumbling to himself, Osawa pumped the plunger over and over again. I mean, water is not supposed to be this blue, is it? This was almost funny. Almost ridiculous, in fact. His daughter had been kidnapped, and he was stuck unclogging a toilet. He was quite possibly caught up in a major corporate conspiracy, and here he was, unclogging a toilet. Tanaka poked his head into the bathroom. You know what, I would have delegated Tanaka to do it if I was Osawa, but whatever. I thought he's his assistant. Did you fix it yet? If you need to urinate, then use the restroom on the second floor. That's alright, he is fine. Tanaka stepped in beside him and abruptly shut the bathroom door. What? Now the two men were crammed together in the narrow lavatory. Hey, Osawa hissed. What the hell are you doing? That's not your zipper. Tanaka made eye contact with Osawa via the mirror. He spoke in a harsh voice. Shh, it'll be over soon. I've been waiting for a moment. I could get you alone. Oh, whoops. That's my fucking controller. That actually scared me. What? Tanaka sidled around to face him, giving him an intense stare. Oh my god, did this just turn into a BL story? Sir, could you please be quiet for a moment? Tanaka had tears in the corners of his eyes. This'll only take a moment. Osawa could feel the warm breath of his deputy whispering against his cheek. Tanaka reached for something inside his coat. Hey, come on, knock it off. Osawa lifted the plunger like a weapon. Look, if you want to talk, we can do it out there. Osawa shoved Tanaka out of the bathroom. Alright, do as you wish. Osawa closed his eyes. And? Are you sure you're ready for this? I'm not sure. This is all happening pretty fast. To be honest, I'm rather nervous. I understand, sir. I mean, now that I think of it, we do spend day in and day out in that lab together.
I suppose this was bound to happen sooner or later.
What? Is this how it works?
Sir, could you please open your eyes? I'd like you to look at this. You have to forgive me. This is all a bit sudden. Please, sir, take a look. No, I can't. It's just the two of us. It's probably going to shock you, I know, but please, just look. Is it really that shocking?
Oh yes, very. I know that he just wants to show him something in private, okay? This is not a boys' love story.
No, please, open your eyes.
Okay. No, I can't. Sir, trust me, this isn't easy for me either.
Alright.
Bracing himself, Usawa opened his eyes. Tanaka thrust out his cell phone.
Here, take a look at this.
Huh? Usawa blinked, bewildered, then refocused on the phone. He could never have anticipated what he saw on the LCD screen. What is it? Oh, come on, I want to see as well. Fuck off, Akiba. Fuck off. Probably some incriminating evidence against either Makino or Kajiwara, or maybe even Tanaka himself, but he's actually on his side and wanted to tell him. I don't know, but this was something else, to say the least. Oh god.